Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Tuesday with Glenn. It is, I don't know, we are here and it is to-do day. We have a whole lot of random stuff to get done today. Everything from working on a bell to trying to figure out what to do with this front window, through to possibly replacing the glass. We'll see if we've got time for that one. And finishing up the inlay that we've got going. So that's where we're at. Delays included and everything else, and we'll see how well we can do. But first things first, of course, we need to sleep off the night, because that would just be bad. We ended up wandering around and had like creepers and things, and apparently it's just dark, so it must be raining. That's okay. Where did I put? It's random odds and ends just kicking around as I was trying to find things this week. So I need to just figure out where I put everything. Here we go. You would be surprised, but our gold farm is pokey at the moment, and so to get this much out of nuggets, I actually was there for 2 sessions, I believe, of AFK. That basically I stopped when I got kicked off the server. So yeah, it's interesting. But hey, in all honesty, who's to complain? Because frankly put, I didn't have to go and mine it myself. So, beggars can't be choosers and all that. Actually, while that would be interesting, I think I'm going to do this in a different order. Good morning, Fantastic Sherlock Box. How are you today?
Oh, hello there!
I'm definitely glad that you could drop by, that you had a moment to spare. We are just finishing up a whole load of... working on trying to finish up a whole load of projects. So, as you can hear, it is raining in the world, and I'm unable to sleep off the rain. That's okay, won't be all that long till nighttime. We have a little bit left to finish on this section here, and I think part of my sort of, not really lore, but quasi-lore excuse for why I chose to do it this way rather than actually building something out of it is, one could call it a behind-the-scenes process. So as in, I could have done it as carpet art, but I chose not to. And I sleep off. Please. Oh, okay. But it turned out that I really didn't have to go very far to get more of this diorite, so I guess we're going to be fine. Gonna be fine. Just need to finish filling this section and the circle, and then that should be pretty much done. And I have no idea whether or not you guys can hear the music today, because I cannot. Pop that just a little bit. My own volume. There we go, that's better. Turns out I have my computer turned down. I have no idea why, but hey, sometimes you can make mistakes. I was having a really bizarre dream this morning I did not want to wake up from. Sometimes that's a challenge, but that's not why it was pokey. It's just that I was thinking about Minecraft, thinking about next season. Unfortunately, dozed off a little bit during daydreaming about the next season, and ended up kind of playing it, I guess, in my head, which did not go nearly as well as I was thinking it would. Sleep off, and then we'll get the next set. Oh, I'm very sorry to hear that. Well, I guess I know what we're doing. Our daughter quite likes the dots because then she can make all kinds of things, although I'm not too surprised. It is kind of frankly put, it's sort of a cheesy product. I don't particularly like it. I mean, it's great, but really it was just an excuse to put the Lego bases, to sell the Lego base plates in various shapes and sizes and designs and whatever, and then you just stick dots on it. It wasn't that big a thing. But on the other hand, another looking at it though is they seem to show no sign whatsoever of intending to discontinue the larger dot style projects, such as maps and IP based pictures and shields and stuff like that. Like their Elvis picture seems to be going nowhere. Their world map is sticking around. They're doing a bunch of house shields for Harry Potter. I mean, they've done the Batman one, and as I understand it, that one's still around. There's a big Batman head. So the product is still there, but they're not packaging it for you in the dots format. That's more of a crafty type of thing. I guess they're wanting to encourage 3D creativity rather than flat art. So I'm not too surprised, but nor am I overly bothered. I mean, as a parent, the other reason is because those are the pieces that end up everywhere. And that as kids make, say, the rubberized bracelets or something, the dots tend to fall off. So they just get dropped on the carpet or lost the critical one in the design and your kid's upset. You know? So I mean, I'm not, as I said, I'm not particularly upset. The other thing is kids were doing that sort of art with the little like circular studs and squares and stuff before the dots product came out. And I think they'll continue doing it afterwards. And it, as much as one tried to say that it was aimed at all genders, unfortunately the reality is quite the contrary. In the way that people were claiming Lego Friends was aimed at girls, I really do think that the Dots product was as well. Because you generally didn't hear as many of the boys getting into this sort of thing, and the sets released were not usually the kinds of projects that I stereotypically remember boys getting into over the years. I mean, you can do picture frames and pencil holders are great, but unless it's like, I don't know, IP themed in some way, packaging pastel colors is not necessarily going to fire up a youth's imagination who's into like Batman blacks and blues or Joker purples and greens. It isn't working. Yeah, so they're going to keep the tiles, which means that in essence the product is there. For parents who are really interested in continuing with that type of thing, I mean, the bands will be hard to find for, say, wristbands and stuff. But for the rest of it, the plates are available. So if you really wanted to, you could actually buy jars full from like Bricklink or something. It's not impossible, but I mean, I will say as a parent, again, it's less convenient. So if your kid was really into that, it is definitely becoming less convenient. I do wonder if they'll discontinue some of the products that they had with it, but in terms of the bigger projects that seem to use the same parts, but that sounds unlikely. We'll have to see. I mean, my question becomes, if they discontinue that, what are they going to replace it with? Because it's one thing Lego's been doing the last few years is when they discontinue one product, they kind of fill the hole with something else. It's not usually a one-to-one replacement, but they make some sort of attempt at filling the hole. So my question becomes, what's next? How do you refresh your line when you take something like that out? There we go. All right. So take a quick look at the overhead on this one. And that looks pretty close to done. Now I probably should put some sort of border on this in the same way that I did on the carpet art. But we'll just see how much time we've got, because one thing is that we've gone collision-wise right up against the honey block or the hive block, and as you can see, that one would be a right royal pain to move. It would be easier to redo a huge chunk of the art and shove it outwards further, but we just don't have the time for that. So yeah, we'll have to see. One thing I will do though is I'll peel back the top a little bit with one more row, and this is running. It feels weird, but peel back the top one more row, just so that when we people fly in from an overhead, they don't see quite, actually maybe two more rows, they don't see quite as much slamming right up into the edge of the art. Sometimes depending on where the sun is, you get weird shadowing, and it's not just on the journey map. But we've had it announced by the patron, of course, Dadcraft73, that they'll be rebooting, resetting, restarting, whatever you want to call it, the server as of February 1st or 2nd, something like that. And I think he said the first, but anyways, so this is all going to go away. I don't necessarily have a problem with that, but it just means that I want to have it done so that it chooses to base tour, it's ready to go. I mean, I'm told it's a when that it chooses to base tour, not an if, but you know me. Sometimes I treat things like it's all an if, because that way I don't stress as much. All right, one down. Okay, let's go back to the other building. I can take this with me. That with me. And then get the bell underway. You can see part of it through the top of the bell tower there. I try to like not smack into it. There we go. Okay, I'm carrying the right pieces. I find myself a dumping corner. How about right there? This one. We'll just put away the stuff we don't really need. Get these back in place. Oh, I do need some of this stuff. Dirt. There we go. All right. And up we go. Wait a minute. I dumped those. Where did I dump those? Alright. I had the scaffolding. Where did I put them? When I said miscellaneous, I got a little overzealous. There we go. I guess I need that.
And now we come to the thrilling final episode of our radio drama.
So the bells, I'm just winging it. It's going to be a very square bell because it doesn't actually do anything. So just winging it, and we're going to probably put a clapper down the center with I don't know what. Actually, it might be an interesting place to put some more of that waxed copper and have a big blob at the end, at the bottom. That'd be kind of fun. You can think about it that way. Could be functional. That would be fun too. Yeah. Should look good. Can I hide a village bell inside? I can. I was originally going to make that the metal portion of the clapper, but I'm not really sure if it's worth it because I'm not really sure if it's worth it because the bell is non-functional and people won't be able to reach the town bell. I don't know if it's worth it or not. Okay, let's see. This one, maybe a couple more rows, and then outwards one more layer. Oh. We'll just have to see how far these blocks stretch. That's probably the big key. Because I don't really want to put this one off too much longer. So if I drop one, I have to go down and get it. Maybe one more. Go. I think this is probably the last row downwards, then I need to go out by one. Not super duper bell shaped, but it should do the trick. Okay. So now we need to where were we? To go. I'm used to seeing these things from the outside. I'm not used to seeing them from the inside. So this is where I need to put my thinking hat on. That one there. This one. That. This one should. Yeah. That should get me what I'm looking for, I think. Of course, the hard part is to repeat that. I think when I make mistakes like this, but that's okay. 1, 2, 3. There's something about this song just suddenly reminded me of the Diggy Diggy Hole song, and I have no idea why. I'm just hoping I'm going to have enough to get all the way around. Starting to suspect that I'm not. I did that one wrong. Ooh. Let's not fall. I dropped it. Even worse. Okay. Ow! Okay, that was not what I intended.
Hi
Up.
there. What a wonderful time for you to drop
Let's
by.
see.
You know, they're just setting up to shoot a scene of our new
Yeah, that last throw is working,
introduce you before they
but I'm not going to have
begin.
enough blocks.
Honestly, we're all just bursting with excitement about this brilliant new performer. We think this one will not only win every award hands down, but just going to win the hearts of people all over the country. Come on. I want you to meet a great new star.
There will be one more trip to the AFK spot at the gold farm, but I'm going to just build what I can because we are so almost there. So this should have been. Okay. The brain just doesn't want to work on this today. Why can't I figure out the last side? This is all incorrect. There. 2. Three. So these 3 are wrong. That's probably part of what it is. This, that, and this. Ooh. Did I actually get what I'm looking for? Actually, weirdly enough, I think I did, so I may not need to, Ow. I dropped a gold one. Where did it go? There it is. Oops. But I got it. Okay, good. So I think actually I got the bell effect I'm looking for. Let's see what we can do down the center. I think I have town bells. I mean, I could hide one. I don't know what good it would do if I could hide one. Too much. I'm pretty sure we can't do anything with copper. But it never hurts for me to look. Nope, just cut copper. I was actually hoping we'd be able to do a wall, but that's not to be. So, solid it is. Let's see what it looks like. I can always take it out. An odd number down the top, which is fine to come down, but then it would look a little weird at the bottom if I did a 3x3. It'll fill up the whole gap. There we go. That's probably about as low as we can go. Just for kicks. There. One could argue we have a bell in the bell tower, right? That is one big oid construction. It's corny, but it makes the point. Not sure I fully like that. Take this one out. Unfortunately, not that I'm personally good at Fantastic Sherlock Fox. I would love to, but not with my skill level, I'm afraid. Which is too bad, because that would have been kind of fun. Sure, if I talked to somebody like Arch or whatever, I could probably come up with some sort of fantastic design to do it. But I think the timing, we're kind of out. Yeah, that's too big. Looks ridiculous. Pull it out. Be cool. I'd love to know how. But sadly not within my skill level. Which is too bad.
Oh, is it okay with you, sir? Sure, kids. Go ahead. Oh, thank you.
Pick something groovy, Alex.
So let's take this down and see how it looks.
Hello.
Hello, how are you doing, Benson? Hopefully you had yourself a good weekend and a good start to your week. Right. Actually, that's not that bad. Besides the fact that the bell would have nowhere to swing anyways. So, yeah. You can't make it any bigger. That looks sort of warped out. Now I'm not sure I'm happy with that. Now it looks too big. It's artistic, which is not necessarily a bad thing. Ugh. Glenn's never satisfied. Fantastic Sherlock Fox is too familiar with that. Come on. Hopefully it keeps getting better. I do agree. I do hope that things can help. Oh, whoops. What I'm gonna do is take down all the center part. Rather than going 3x3 here, if I actually bring it in one all the way around, maybe that might not look quite so weird to me. So, for example, take the top down first. Ooh, this is going to be an interesting one because I may have to go up and down a little bit. Sorry about that, everybody. So up here, so I can actually reach it. Nice. Which I don't know if that actually showed visually on stream. If it didn't, that's something I want it to do. So I may have to improve that. So I need to figure out a good way to do the shoutouts visually. But for now, we had an extra special shout out for Benson. Right, so this is what happens when Dell gets to be unsatisfied with what she built and does it again. Down one more. Then everything's coming in by one row. Take all of this out. Not that. These corners. Boo and boo.
Hello there.
Say that. Hello. How are you doing, Creef? Good evening to you, fine sir. Come on. Maybe I should just build this one from above this time.
Hello? Hello?
Hello, Balbrain. How are you doing? Good evening to you too. Or is it good afternoon? I believe. I'm not too good with time zones. These. So Delenn built her bell, then decided it was too big. So I'm doing it all again. One. I'm gonna have to go back inside it, I think. Okay. Needed some materials to work with. You. Yeah. Okay. There, that one. This one. One. This one. There we go. So it's a build and rebuild, isn't it? Yeah. How's this week starting for everyone? Is excellent question. Hoping once I get the curve part done that I'm happy with it. This one out. But I also can't afford to lose them all over the floor down there, which kind of stinks because the AFK time required is actually a lot more than trying to run around and pick them up before they despawn. The return on that investment is kind of ridiculous. Back up and try again. Would it be weird to say the most useful thing you own is your phone? No, I'd probably say that's about the same. Probably close by that is my computer. Car was on the list. Yep, that's a good one. I mean, I guess one could argue a clock is probably a good one as well. Just in that, what would we do without our clocks? Life seems to run on them whether we like it or not. Dill has no idea what she's doing here, so bear with me. That's the issue when I wing it. Ah. I've never built a bell before, much less a very large bell, so yeah. This one. What is the lip? The lip's out there, so this should be the lip now. That corner. This one. My brain said, "Oh yeah, you're gonna make this from scratch." And then part of me said, "Dude, you know better." Okay. Goes in. I like that row. What did I just do? 2, 3. In. This one and that one. 2 off. Sorry for the concentration, just really puzzled because I built something and then I changed my mind on it, and now, oh, well, that's not bad, we'll just do X. Yeah, well, that doesn't work if I'm on the outside, or sometimes on the inside and I can't reach the extra blocks from the outside. So, yeah. Confusion. And, what was it, Thomas the Tank Engine says, with Mr. Topham Hat, Mayor, it's like, confusion and delay. Yes, that's what it is. Confusion and delay. Get the corners we want so that we can build straight down, then that's not a problem. In terms of what you use the most, yeah, the fridge makes the list near the top too. Probably. For sure. Bell's bell. Yeah, it's so janky. You can hear DC now, Dell's bell. Wow. I'm not sure if I should be appreciative of that comment or disturbed by it. The other thing I have not done is mob-proof this, so I'm just like crossing my fingers that it'll be okay. Why did I do that? This one? Three. No. Game. Please stop making me think I pressed buttons I did not. to be this pattern inside. Wider. Wider. 3, 3. Okay. This can come out. That. Corner. Okay, this whole corner can. I thought rebuilding would be easier, but it's not. Okay. I have to go down and real quick, pick all these up. Despawn is not, unfortunately, not in the cards at the moment. Why is it a gold bell rather than another color? Because I couldn't decide what other color to use. I thought about copper bell, but then I had just done something copper outside, so part of why I didn't. Yay! Alright, let's start with this one. Love you now. How is it that every time I build one of these things, I get fewer and fewer blocks? I don't get this. All right. So just quickly jumping around. There's one over there. Back up and build this thing. I'm just kind of wondering what you think DC would say about it, Fantastic Dog Fox. I'm quite curious now.
Some crazy stunt man is gonna try taking off in an airplane from the top of an automobile this afternoon out in the valley. Sounds like a story. Hold it, Jack. Take off from an automobile on a dirt road. Can he make it? Well, be a good picture either way.
There's one more and then back out again. So. Yeah, probably. Well, then just remember to bring a soda when he does the tour. And have a sip in case he does say it. A bit more square than I'd originally thought, but it will do. It wasn't meant to be a saving of materials or anything silly like that. It's just that it worked out that way. And that's not a gold piece. That one. Oh, heading into a meeting. I understand. Makes sense. Am I in for a new season on the coffee server? To be honest with you, I'm in for a new season. Not sure if it's going to be the coffee server or the Bedrock server. I really have no preference, and I've been asked by both sides which server I prefer. Nobody has any compelling reason yet why I should pick one over the other. So I play both, like not right now, but I mean, as in I've played both versions of Minecraft. I don't particularly care because for the purposes of the minor quantity of, like, say, redstone that I do, it really doesn't matter which server I'm on. Okay, now that I've made the bell narrower, I'm going to take these off and see what I think of it from the ground. Yeah, that's better, like that. But I still have to go back up. And now I just took everything down. I realized I've got the bell, and then I can put, not chains, bars, I think, in this case. Oh, actually. Let's see if I have any. Oh. Now there's the question, do I do iron bars or do I do a chain of copper lightning rods down the center? I'm thinking I'm going to go copper just for something a little different and then hang the bell off the bottom like the flapper. I only need 2, so that actually might be sort of fun. One of those, you've never done it, so you want to do it just once. Activities. This. That. Three. I don't think it's enough. Let's see if we can go back up and is that going to look okay? Probably eat while I'm at it. That would be sensible. Oops. That. This. That. Oh, I might need a couple more. Bell looks a little. Just the one. Yeah, too short. Okay, gotta do it one more time. Add wings. Red Bull did not give me enough wings. Okay. Oh, I'm getting really strange sounds, and then I just realized because I wasn't listening through the usual spot. Come on. I have far too many things installed. I need to disable some of them. I just went around in circles. B, D, C. No. Okay, there we go. Done. No more echoes. Alright. Oh. You guys weren't hearing it, but it was definitely something I was hearing. There we go. That's fun. I'm going to leave it like that. It's silly. It's fun. Where did I leave? Can't figure out where I left the carpet, so I gotta go get some more. No big deal. Blue. Carpet end. 2. Clean up the mess. One project down. Actually, I need some signs. Probably just one. I don't know what's going to look good wherever we're putting signs, so I'm just trying to decide what I want to do with them. Let's go with some birch, because I have far too many birch signs. And I need some dies for this one. Not for the birch ones, but for the one dark oak. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, is, yeah, I don't know, it's, part of it is that I'm not a whole, I mean, I'd love to be a more community-oriented person. Last time I was on, yeah, that'll work. Complete with a bell. The last time I was on Bedrock, I didn't do much. Like, I mean, I had headspace issues. We'll point that out for sure. But the other part of it was that the community projects, I really wasn't sure how to help, how to be a part of things. So people were joking about Ross and the Roomba when they were talking about Dadcraft taking apart something last night. And actually, it just reminded me of like when they did the group tunnels for the Nether, like the big massive one. The best thing I could contribute at that point was literally just to run around behind Stormy looking like a fool and sucking up all of the basically I was an ally, I guess. I needed an ally skin because I just picked up a lot of the netherrack and then just deposited it in chests. I think that was it. And I think the only other thing I contributed was I donated the carpet. But that's it. Like, I didn't do squat because I didn't know what to do. And nobody's really able to say, hey, we need you to X or Y, or we need such and such done. So, and that's kind of how I felt on the Bedrock, or sorry, on the Java server as well. Same issue. Oh. 2, 4, 1, 2, 5. Grr. Yeah, I'm gonna fix that off camera because that's just annoying. Let's see what we can do with the windows. Do I have glass? I have glass for sure, but I need some more. Okay. I need to put some away before I can actually get onto the window. Anyways, but really where I was coming with that is to say that it doesn't matter to me which server I play on because I'm not really sure how to work well as a group, and that sounds dumb to be on an SMP when you've got no idea how to participate. And it's not something that anybody really can tell you. Well, if it's any consolation, grief, well, actually, no, I like the church. It turned out better than I expected, which is good because next season's plan, you guys have seen the art that I did for the book cover. This is recreating a book cover. Well, the book cover is actually related, so that's my, not really a secret, it's just an open thing. That's my base for next season. Is not all art like this, but I'm going to be doing a medieval base to do the town from that book series. Or sorry, village. Whatever you want to call it. I guess it was a town? But yeah, and it is based on a real place, and I will be probably putting another church back in there if I can make it look okay. If I freak out about it, then I may pull this one into creative, slam it into a Lightmatic and pull it back as a placeholder. But I'd rather try and learn to do another one. But yeah, so it'll just be a medieval town with a small castle involved. And the big key is it's a monastery, or a monastery town, which means that the medieval built church part of it has to be a lot larger, and it has to have all kinds of like sleeping chambers and kitchens and the whole 9 yards. I have yet to figure out where I'm going to put a like which part of it I want to start building first, I need to lay it out clearly, means I need a sheep farm. So that's probably where I'm going to start, but I'm not particularly sure which building I'm going to work on first. So that'll be a surprise to me as well. One of the things I had thought about is just to keep on alternating. So I did a Java season, then I went to a Bedrock season, then I came back to a Java season. So maybe I'm due for another Bedrock season. We'll have to see. I mean, that's an interesting thought. I really have to figure that one out pretty quickly. And there's enough players now that Microsoft has it. I wouldn't say cross-playable, but if you own one, you own the other sort of thing. There's enough PC players that have been doing both that there's not a whole lot of a difference in the crew. Okay, let me correct that. There are some that are playing only Java still, which is fine. But there are a lot that were playing both. And so the crew is very similar. I mean, like, speak for yourself. I know you're on both sides. So, like, that's good. And I know Stormy has played both sides. So in that sense, it doesn't particularly matter which server. I really don't know. How about you'll know when I know, maybe? I guess? Okay, I keep saying the window, but this is bugging me, so let's do the window before I start to go a little crazy. Let's put stuff away, because I got squirreled. Right? Isn't that how it goes? Oh, and I don't have my scroll button. That's okay. That's not
Inconceivable!
by any stretch of the imagination. Okay, so I'm putting away... I did it again. Oh well, it's fine. It's fine, it's all good, it's fine, it's fine. Isn't that how it goes? Okay. But this... really do have to move my swap key. I left it on the default, and it's just getting in the way. One random chest for dumping things. Let's put signs in there. Don't need that now. Where'd my carpet go? Weird. Okay. Could probably only do one server this time. Your time's way too limited these days to spend time on more than one. Well, that's the other thing is I've got 2 servers on the go, but it's not because of 2 vanilla servers. I've got this one, and I've recently, as you guys are aware, started up the Vault Hunters play, which has its pros and cons. But that means that I'm trying to figure out how do I devote enough time to both to satisfy myself, because I've got ideas for both of them, even though I really haven't sorted out my routine post New Year's enough to be able to be devoting enough time to everything. So for example, like I really would like to play with some of the mods on Vault Hunters. But the problem is that I have to devote a lot more time to actually unlock them. I haven't got them unlocked yet. Oh, hey Tiz! How you doing? Haven't seen you in a while. I was trying to figure out what to do with this stained glass window up here. It's supposed to be a stained glass window, but I have to figure out what to do with it. And I might just cop out and do a basic flower or something. But the random stained glass look really didn't throw me. Some people are good at it. I'm not. But I just decided, since that's sort of a feature window, I can't really leave it blank. And it's not big enough to do much of anything with, is part of the problem. Let me just think here. 3. Aha. Okay. Not one of those if you know things, but the last season I was on Java, I built an inordinately ridiculously large flower. Gave me some pretty good heart attacks and stuff in terms of Well, Yeah, lime will work for stained glass. Why not? With yellow, and I need one piece of brown, I think. But I built a very, very large sunflower. And so I think just for kicks, I will probably reference that flower if it's gonna work. I have light gray? No, it's gray. This white carpet? No. Why do I have a... I don't know. Not gonna ask. Alright. So, I might as well just reference the flower. And people who know about it, know about it. That. See what I can do. In the very, very large flower, I had a shop. So, that's what I'm going to reference to this one. Brown. Oh well. A lime. And then the light gray. Oops, I can do 2 sets of light gray. Light gray looks like you don't even have anything in your inventory. Kind of funny.
Here, in a greatly simplified form, we have the 4 elements needed in every timepiece.
If the light gray looks right, then I'm going to run around all these other windows and change them out. But I don't have to do that on camera. I just wanted to be able to start getting stuff done this week, and I don't have a whole ton of time that I'm giving myself. Ooh. Where's the center? Actually, from the center. Hello. Hello, dragon. Isn't that how it goes when all those fails wing it? Sure. I totally understand the whole head cold that won't go away thing. I've just recently gotten over mine. And I think I caught it in like November. He just doesn't want to take a hike. I totally hear you. Hopefully yours will go away very soon because I can understand they are miserable. Thank you very much for whoever started the fight. We could definitely use it. 3. Sure. And then we'll just do the rest in gray. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, I'm gonna run out. That's okay. That's okay. Start with the top just to get that part out of the road. Church windows are never really see-through, are they? Wow, that really underscores the fact that I've got stairs there. Oh well. Not going to win this one. So now I need to get some more dye. Let's see. Yeah, that'll do. We need a lot of light gray because I think the light gray windows are working well. Okay. Excuse me, kitty. Sorry, you can't go out the door with me. Sorry, I didn't mean to push you. Oh well, you're in there now. We're gonna be pushing cats. Might as well push this one too. Go away. You can go over there. Go bananas somewhere else. Thank you. Alright. Where did the glasses sit? Actually, better I keep that one. Go. That should help. Oops. Yeah, crafting table might be useful.
You can enjoy the ride.
No.
Or you can, well, look around.
Okay, that'll do the trick. It's funny, I was thinking, I'm done on my projects, and then I came up with another project. I'm not quite sure how or why I keep doing that. That's the thing about Minecraft, though. It's never finished, right? Isn't that how it always goes? This project. Particular thing is done. There we go. That's the reference to the flower from the season before. And it's just a matter of swapping out all those windows. You, Mr. Sniffed Blue, as weird as that sounds, you can come over here. And then, that's fine, you can sit down. Scaffolding and windows. keep forgetting I need to do windows with the pick or with the axe, not the pick.
As our bus goes on, the passengers are having a pleasant time. Some watch the scenery, others read, while others find napping the most pleasant way to travel.
Oh, good point. Using the sword. Ooh, we haven't, honestly, we haven't seen the sword win Champion of the Hill for a while. Strangely enough, there's been a bunch of people lately that have been enjoying the cactus in a pot. No clue why, but hey, more power to them, I guess. 1, 2. Go. You kind of in the way. Left. Yeah, that should be a birch sign there. Left and behind. Kitty, you guys have to go over here for a bit. I need this space clear. Thank you. Good enough. Good until I get either A, spiders, or B, phantoms. So I'm just gonna push on through and see what we can do. Go. Placing of windows is not great today, but that's okay. What was I going to say? So yeah, the next plan is definitely to do a town, and I've never done one that's got some accuracy to it. I don't know how accurate this one's going to be, because for one, it's Minecraft scale, but for two, there's details worth pursuing and spending time on, and then there's details that the people are just getting fussy about. And so I don't really know if the fussiness is really worth it. But it's something I'm looking forward to, because Minecraft lends itself well to that sort of project. Just in terms of aesthetic. I've heard it said that everybody and their dog has done medieval, which is part of why I wanted medieval with a theme, with a purpose, as opposed to some sort of randomness. Oh, okay. But yeah, I've also been exploring a little bit about whether or not I'll be able to return to the pixelated carpet art in the next season. As carpets, it doesn't really work, but I may try and see if I can pull it off as tapestries on the walls with banners. So that'll be another new one for me to try. It highlights the corners, like the fact that I couldn't put full windows in some of these. I guess it'll just have to be what it is, but I'm liking the color far better. These ones shouldn't be too bad because they're square.
We encourage lawlessness with the farce of prohibition.
Think about it. Actually, if I do it from the bottom, it's easier to pick it up and still have problems. Okay. But yeah, one of the other things is I had posted some of the pictures of some of the pieces that we had done this season on a few different people's discords, because I'd been talking about it and so on and so forth. And one wanted to compliment, which I had a hard time with. Just taking compliments isn't something I'm good at, but I've had a couple of good conversations with some very good people, and they pointed out that for one, I was being a bit of a fool, and for two, is that once again, as everybody likes to tell me, I was selling myself short. It's not a hey, please pat me on the back. No, it's more that I really have to think about the projects that I was proud of, and part of why I'm proud of them is because they actually came out looking like something that is A, recognizable, B, the others on the server haven't done, and C, it's something that in the end I enjoyed the look of, and I would consider my skills having improved compared to last year. That really was the goal, so having achieved that goal says that I got somewhere, and I can actually take it. Whether or not the ideas were necessarily mine, the execution was mine. So, yeah. Live and learn, you know? Okay. I keep thinking I'm going to have something creepy pop up on me. Or have a creeper come in and actually destroy a lot of the work, and that's really something I don't need. Sorry I missed your exit, Creef. I do apologize. I really hope you have a good day and that your evening your evening starts looking up from here, I guess, or maybe that you might be more successfully able to see the back of your eyelids fairly soon. Have a good rest. It is hard. Yeah, I was talking to at one point I'd been talking to people on the Phantom servers, and they said the same thing, but most recent ones were Fantastic Sherlock Fox and Griffin and Lammy Pie's crew and so on. You know, I thought by not using the pick, I would have solved it. Anyway, and Fantastic Sherlock Fox pointed out that it makes it awkward for others as well. I mean, some people want to say something nice, and you have to be able to take it, right? But also, I'm learning, and one of the things is if one can't take a compliment, I guess another way of looking at it is I'm looking at it as it can also be a way of measuring progress, insofar as if nobody says anything, then did you really make a whole lot of progress? If the goal is to be, I should say, work towards being as good as other builders that you admire, then taking a compliment means that you're making progress toward that goal, right? That sounds funny, but I mean, it's not a compliment that says, hey, you're done, as in you made it. Not you made it, but you're done as in you completed the project. Because that's kind of a flat, empty sort of goal or comment. It's not meant to be rude in the way I put it across, but it's not one that says you improved anything or that they even liked it. That's the other thing too, is I'm not out to make builds that are intentionally seen as ugly. Therefore, if I get something to the contrary, then I've made some progress. That sounds really weird when I say it that way. I guess sometimes saying what's going on in my head doesn't always make sense on stream. But anyways, the point being is that, I guess it's okay to accept it when somebody says something in a positive way. And that's good, I guess. Different, good. Oh. Got 2, missed 2. Okay, let's try it again. Pardon me. I forgot about the upper level. I don't think I'm going to get a whole lot of signs put up today for the other things around the base, which means we may have to spend at least one of tomorrow's slots doing that. We'll see if my head's into bingo tonight. It should be. That's the plan. So doing some more bingo tonight. But I may end up having to skip at least one of my Vault Hunter streams this week just to make sure that I get this base spiffy. Because as some would say, time's a wasting. And if I have a target to get done, then I need to get it done. There was a meme, well, I don't know if it's a meme, but there was a popular phrase when I was growing up that was basically just get on it, man. Sort of like the Nike swoosh, just do it. But yeah, don't waste time. Get on it, man. Why? Okay, let's take that off. Oh. Interesting, I need blocks. Dirt. Dirt will do. Any little dirt will do. This one. Put it here. Oh. In a building this big, when is one going to get the chance to wash the windows, right? And so the clear window panes are kind of like washed clean spiffy windows, which is not something that you would actually find in one of these buildings, particularly if we're looking at aged sandstone. All right. 2, 3, 4. Yes. Exactly it is. And honestly, just because one doesn't see it in themselves doesn't mean that one really that it's not there. I mean, those that were, you know, masters in the Renaissance or whatever, it doesn't mean that they were, well, I mean, some of them were arrogant fools and full of themselves and honestly thought they were as good as they were, while others were just like, it's a job, I get hired, whatever. Where are we here? Oh. Help. Up. I'm trapped in my own cues. That's kind of amusing. There we go. I'm not going to try and kill Dadcraft when he tries to tour this place. It's not the intent, although I will probably have to tell him that it is not spawn-proof. As far as I know, no one has set intentional traps for Dadcraft or other players by tour time, but there were some interesting near misses at some of the bases on the Bedrock-based server. So, yeah. Just curiosity, for those of you in chat who do play Minecraft, I know what Benson's comment was. Scope creep? Yep, totally. I know what Benson's comment was. But what else, like for the rest of you, do you have a favorite Minecraft? Now, I know some of you may only play one style, but if you only play one style and can, with your device, play more than one, why do you choose the style that you did? It's just looking towards deciding where I want to be next season. Because I could use 1,000,001 reasons to pick one over the other. Oh, I'm doing this from the land. You've got rockets. Think about this. Why do it from the inside on that level when I can do it a lot easier? Probably from the outside. There we go. So, many have failed to take out Dadcraft, maybe. No! Heavens, no. I do not want to take out Dadcraft. For any reason simply other than there's press and there's bad press. Really? Okay. That's true. I'm kind of asking Bedrock versus Java, but not in the which game is better. More specifically, why did you choose one over the other? Because as we've talked about, Dadcraft has servers for both. And I'm trying to decide where to play next season. And I mean, sometimes it's about the people. But as I pointed out earlier, a lot of the people here are the same crew. In that, like, I wouldn't necessarily be saying no to some of the Java peeps by switching over to Bedrock. And I'd be saying yes to some of the Bedrock peeps who don't or can't play Java. So, I mean, there's the people. But as far as the game itself goes, I don't really have a major preference. Couldn't we just... Okay, time to get another... I have a bazillion of these crafting tables. Where did I put them? Miscellaneous, probably. That would be the sensible spot. Nope, apparently not. Nope. Yeah, I'm already Scam Russell. I'm not sure quite why that one stuck as well as it did, but it did. Gray. Yeah, both are excellent, right? They're both really good games. They are definitely different games. They're not the same thing. But, yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Like, it's got great accessibility. So, I mean, it could be the people. Because, really, I would not be losing access to friends. The other difference, I guess... Difference? I mean, one could argue there's things that are easier on Bedrock, such as... Not Bedrock, sorry, on Java, such as iron farms are super easy. I strongly dislike the Bedrock iron farm I made. It became like a trading hall and stuff, but it's going to be a problem for the base theme I've got. Like, we don't have an opportunity, or it's just because of the way that the village mechanics work. And it's not the scare tactics part per se, I guess, well, sort of. But they don't have the conversational tactics either, and that it will have to be village center. So that's going to be a bit of a problem. But it's not a be-all and end-all. You know, like, I could probably find a way around it. I thought, you know, I'd hire Benson to, like, have a base at least 100 blocks away. It's like, guess what? I am now going to be scamming you out of your iron at your iron farm. Yeah, that's it. It is more difficult than Java in a lot of areas. Like, truth be told, if it was purely just based on how the game plays, I'd stay Java. But, and so for maybe what I'm doing, getting that part of the mechanic out of the way and looking at focusing on the build, I might go with Java. I'm just indecisive, I guess. But I might stick with Java because then you get the gameplay part is kind of out of the way working on the build, and then save that ugliness of gameplay for the Vault Hunters, because one cannot deny that it's kind of ugly over there. Challenging and ugly. I know a lot dead. You know, I disagree about the easier for two reasons. One, I play quality of life mods, so if I really wanted to, I could put in a quality of life mod that will allow me to pillar out, to bridge out in front of me. The other thing is I actually don't like part of the bridging out in front, only in that just the way that I pretend to bridge out in front, the game is extra sensitive, so when I'm getting too close to, say, the opposite landmass out in front of me, then it will often like place my block over there rather than on the end of what I was working on. And in early game survival, you don't have a whole lot of spare blocks. Every single block counts, and when it starts, sticking them up, like you can place it farther away, but then you go to try and mine it back up, and there's no way you're going to be able to pick it up. And I get bit by that so often that I just tend to bridge backwards anyhow. I've never really liked the bridging backwards thing because in essence, you're over a drop-off. Whether it be a void or not is kind of irrelevant, but it's definitely a drop-off. Well, that's true. I mean, the other thing about it is it's more on par than it used to be with changes that people have made with Bedrock packs and so on. Come on. I keep thinking I'm close to the beacon, but then I'm not close enough. It's like, really? Anyway, but yeah, so it's just a matter of deciding. I mean, I've got great friends on both sides. That's true. Bedrock itself has changed so much. And there's a bunch of things that I'm not always up on a lot of Silence videos, but there's a number of things that he's pointed out recently that, in a way, scream closer to parody and just general behavior, like the offhand business and so on. But I will say, until things like mobile get their Tucson gear and actually are able to have good controls, I can see how doing a lot of the offhand stuff is just not feasible. Although part of it has always bugged me about mobile is just that it's very single finger centric. Meaning, like, if you're moving, why not have a left button, right button ability to do taps and things? So stuff like a one finger tap would be a left action, and a two-finger tap would be a right action, which means then that if you're holding down a single button, for whatever your reason is, then you end up with, as soon as you start tapping with the alternate finger as well, then you get the right button. Like, that would be where my brain's at. It doesn't work that way. Yet another one of those would be nice, but moments. Okay, should I bother trying to fly in the church? I never have. I'm going to crash into something. Oh, well, I made it out the window. That was the goal. And nearly missed the drop. Okay. So, I don't know. I guess the most compelling thought I've noted today is probably the bit about knowing more of the Java mechanics, just muscle memory, I guess, and being able to do things with two hands is probably going to win, because then I can focus on the other SMP I'm working on as well. maybe that's the winner. I don't know. It stinks. It really stinks one way or the other. I mean, the thing is, some people say, well, I can't play the other one because I need to use, need to use a controller. I have to, for whatever reason. Maybe, my hands get stiff or something. That's fine. I'm totally cool with that. But that still doesn't count out Java as a possibility. And proper vanilla Minecraft it's hard on your system, but it's not as hard on people's systems as a lot of players think. So, you might not be able to add all the sweet quality of life stuff, like an extra map or like mods to go with your vanilla experience. And you may not be able to have as high a frame rate, but it's not unplayable. Now, I recognize, of course, that my machine's kind of beefy. I do get that. But even the now souped down laptop that I swapped out for this one, for this desktop, can play it, or can play Java Minecraft. It doesn't have to be a full-on, potato, but the basics of Java Minecraft are there. So, I mean, I guess some of the people that are choosing to play Bedrock could switch as well, so who knows? It's all a matter of taste, I suppose. But yeah, maybe for the purposes of the village I'm looking at doing, in order to be able to staff it in the way I had originally planned, I think my Bedrock might not work out as well. I might need to stick with Java, just because then I can deal with the village mechanic. Well, that's the other thing too, is a different culture. Fantastic Shockbox and I were talking about that the other day. We noticed that the culture on Dadcraft's Bedrock server is very community oriented, which is good. It's very bubbly, little bit more prankish than the Java server on the whole. I mean, now I will admit I'm generally prank averse. Harmless pranks are totally okay, but there aren't a whole lot of opportunities in that sort of thing. They get together, they'll photobomb and stream bomb, or lightly decorate each other's bases in random, bizarre, weird ways. And it's just a different culture, and that's fine. Java folks do get together, but we don't, as far as I can tell, we don't do as much. Like, we don't have, even though we're on the roof, because of just, Java being allowed to build in the nether roof, I don't think I saw anybody really sort of decorate up their portals a whole lot, or fancy their base. Not their base, sorry. They're like, nobody built a fancy tunnel or a fancy rail to their base. We just didn't bother. For whatever the reason is, we just didn't bother. And that makes it interesting, I guess, because it's definitely a different way of looking at things. This season in particular, the Java server felt a lot quieter. And there's always the seasonalness of it, and what I mean by that is because Dadcraft also has a modded server, of course only the people who tend to play the Java really are able to take advantage of that modded server. That's the way it works. So there's a seasonalness of it, in that the servers always start out busy, and the Java one drops off, whereas the Bedrock one kind of doesn't, because unless you want to play self-contained marketplace maps, Java is where it's at, modded, and so those people go, but Bedrock stays, right? It's not like you can suddenly fire up a whole community of a Bedrock marketplace map. Now, there may be that sort of feature available, but I've never seen it personally, so I could be fully incorrect. But it means that if you want to keep playing with people, you're on the vanilla SMP, vanilla server. There's some that play both from the Dadcrafts community, like, or the, I guess, the more common Dadcrafts community, because I mean there are plenty of people that are in multiple communities. There are some that play both, and I don't know how they keep it straight, but it may depend on what you're doing. I mean, the combat mechanics and what you can and can't put in your hands and stuff like that is probably, in my mind, the most critical difference between the two. But as far as building and things, if you're not into stuff like redstone, then it really doesn't matter a whole stinking lot in terms of which one you play. I mean, another thing I, realizing, or being fully transparent, is that maybe that's part of the reason why I have some issues progressing in my abilities in the game, is because I haven't made a choice to focus on one or the other. That could be it too, in a way, like, not to say it's negative, but I mean, maybe that's a way of holding myself back that I hadn't realized I was doing. I have to think about that a little bit more. Nope, not there. I have the interior. Yeah, okay. So maybe there is that. I don't know. I'm not saying, hey, tell me where I should play. That's really wasn't what I was asking. It was just, what are some of the factors I should be thinking of based on the reason you guys made your decisions? That's all. Though it does come across sounding like the tell me what I should play, and I have to be careful and cognizant of that. But yeah, coming to think of all that, I don't know if I should announce a flash decision. I don't know, but it sounds like, based on the plan I've got for doing that village and stuff, I think it might end up staying on the Java server because it will be more conducive to doing what I was trying to do. This season, because I just had a trading hall, like a one single place, then I think it wouldn't have mattered. But I think because next season I'm actually probably going to do something a little bit like Carnage Joe did on her base, where she had like a separate village area that had enough little houses and stuff for the various types of villagers. That that's what I'd like to do, but the idea of having to go 100 blocks away just to be able to get a little bit of iron or something just doesn't really appeal. Makes it harder for me to work that into the base design. And I keep thinking I keep forgetting that I've forgotten to put the carpets on some of these. Oopsie daisy. Okay. Before I squirrel, let me just write that down. Sword, bow, blah, blah, blah. Oh, oops, should have done that too. Okay. Red. Vets. In extension. There we go. Otherwise, I will seriously squirrel. Oh, that won't take long. Yeah. But the other one I just noticed is technically behind these pillars I should be putting more of the blue carpet. Not that. This one. Yeah, well, that's precisely what I'm getting at. Is if you wanted to have one for building, and then one's all the technical farms, then that works well. And that's kind of where I was going with that. In the way that I'm playing, is one is the vanilla for that very type of reason, the building sense, and then the other one would be the Vault Hunters for more the combat side of things. And it'd be nice to do some building in there. I have a plan for it. Sort of a farm theme, if I can ever get Create unlocked. Because it's kind of got that wooden cogs belt sort of style. But really that one's more... Yeah, really that one's more the difficult combat thing. Just being different. Here's the other thing. I mean, if you did switch it up from one style to another, but you're used to doing two of the same style, just the generic survival elements, would you think they would get on your nerves, right? Because even if the aim was for building purposes as opposed to farm purposes, once again, the combat is different whether we like it or not. I can't just... Here, I can't just aim at a mob, fire the bow, and yeah, they're out of the road, whatever, let's move on. I actually have to think about the fact that there's sort of some pretense at physics involved with gravity and stuff, which is definitely not the case in Bedrock. Not going to bother puzzling out why that is or isn't, but it isn't the case. I find it actually kind of bizarre where choices that Mojang made for where they were going to have physics involved and where they were not. It's not just the sand and gravel blocks and related to other things floating. Just some of the physics choices are really weird. The other thing too is if the Java server in Deadcraft's community is less social, more quiet, in a lore sense, that actually works out potentially better for the site of a town supposedly housing a monastery, like a Benedictine monk thing. So maybe there's that. But I'm definitely at the point where the community is asking me more questions as to which one I'm going to do. And so I was really hoping I'd have a choice figured out, but I didn't. No, well, yeah. It was on... I mean, in the Cat 5 books, it wasn't quiet. But a lot of it was because it was a travel spot. It was a stop on a major travel road. I mean, that's ignoring the fact that it was quite deadly as well. Bad puns and all. That's part of the medieval period, but partly the Catfell stories are like that, yeah. If it was quiet, we wouldn't be having a novel series about it. Complete derailment. I can't recall, actually. I thought there was one where they didn't. But that one had to do with... Oh, no, you're right. They did. Somebody died in every single one of them, now that I think about it. I was going to try and dispute that, because I had one in mind where I thought they didn't, but no, actually I realized they did in the end. Or not in the end, but like they did actually. End up dying. Well, there we go. Rather than killing everybody, although, I mean, hey, some of the most notorious head collectors are on the Bedrock server. But no, actually, yeah, I think that's probably got my brain thinking Java to the point where I probably made a decision. Feels like it at any rate. Oh, signs. Aha. Don't be silly, you just put a sign there. This should be the last one. Because I am definitely over time. See what I can get done in between, but the plan at the moment is to do bingo. Otherwise, I might go a little bit nutty bar. That and it's something that it's become sort of a regular. Tuesday evening is old lady bingo time. So that's probably where we're going to go is bingo. Yeah. Bingo unless otherwise stated. How's that? We'll go with that. And... Uh-oh. Now I can't remember. Whether I had the windows at the blocks. I think I had them on the blocks. Recessed. I think. I'll take a look from the outside and see how it looks, because this is a very unique window. How did that happen? Go. 3, 2, 1. Yeah, so we'll go with bingo. And then... No, not that. These ones. Thank you. And then we'll come back to this tomorrow if need be. Probably the best approach. I want to be done, or I'm finished. Feels like I'm finished a lot ahead of time because, as Bob Breen correctly pointed out, scope creep gets you. I'm pretty sure that's right because the outside part, for one, I wouldn't have recessed the window, and two, is that I don't remember there being any gaps at the top. I'm very distractible, so that's another good reason to do something different for the next one. Once I get my brain churning, it's kind of hard to get it off that topic, so I'm really kind of confused. But there. So we got the bell. I'm pleased with the bell. We got the gray stained glass done. Right? We got the flower reference stuck in at the end. Actually, that doesn't look that bad. It's not quite what I wanted, but it looks half decent. Okay, and we got what gray in all the windows I can remember. Good progress. And then we've got this piece finally finished up. So I think we're just down to labeling and signage, which does not necessarily have to be done on stream. Because then it's sort of like self-touring. And I have to decide what to do with the cats. So I may run a poll next time whether or not to spread them around or to just leave them all in one room. But other than that, that's all she wrote for today. So what I'm going to do is just quickly sleep off the night. Yeah, that train's insane. And I never did do the luggage car intentionally. It's empty. Reason, and I'll explain that in a signage, but the reason for that is because there's nobody on the train right now, so therefore there's no luggage. You know, that makes sense. That's actually one of the other things about Java is on DC's servers at the moment, we don't have packages that make it easy to pose what's the word I'm looking for? Armor stands and such in funky different ways to get like avatars and stuff going on. So there is no stories to add to that part of the situation. But let's flip her around and do the usual and see who is around that we may want to drop in on. I think, once again, we're probably going to head over to... Let's see who's live. I think. Yeah. So I will probably have a decision made on that. I'm leaning towards Java, but I'll be able to fully more firmly answer that particular question by next stream, I think. Okay. Am I not seeing? Weird. Sorry, my computer's being really slow at some things and deciding to randomly update stuff on me without asking in other ways. Alright, so live right now that I tend to follow. I think I'm going to go to Minecraft Mom 82 and hopefully she appears to be building some farms. So it looks like she's claiming she's going to do a gold farm in the hardcore world. It says Mom Builds Farms Day 6. So yeah, that's where they're going to be. We're going to head off to that one. Please do give her our best. And we'll head over to the end screen and say our proper thank yous. My apologies for all the distraction and spaciness. I believe I need to... Thanks. So, apologies for all the spaciness. I'm not really sure what I'm going to be doing. I'm at that sort of seam where I've got odds and ends to finish up, but nothing that's really, as some put it, nothing's really quality content in my mind. But yet, I want to share with you where the progress is going. So thanks to Benson and Fantastic Shock Fox, Tis for Truth, Creef, and Bobreen for all dropping by. If you were hanging out unseen as a lurker, you are very welcome and very appreciated. I want to say thank you to you for dropping by as well. Please do give Minecraft Mom our best, and we will be seeing you soon, and I will drop in there as well. So, till tonight, when we'll be doing some casual bingo, I will see you later. Have yourselves a great day, and talk to you again soon. Bye-bye for now.
Transfer complete.